which makes my session here much easier. And also, should we embrace it? I think for that question, for those who have listened to Michael would already know the answer to it. Okay, but nonetheless, let's see, what is convergence? Okay, I think we see convergence in many things around us. We see convergence in technology. For example, tell me, for those people who actually like cars, what sort of convergence do you see now? Yes, precisely. Yeah, you see hybrid cars coming quite strongly onto the market. Basically, they have, the car is driven by two sources of power. One is your traditional combustion engine, and the other one is the electric motors. Right? For those of us who cook, for example, if you go to your kitchen, you probably find a microwave oven, right? Traditionally, a microwave oven only heats up things for you. It does a bit of cooking, yeah? But if you look at the microwave oven nowadays, it even bakes, right? So it has gone from a conventional microwave to a more dynamic microwave, so to speak. Right? We see convergence everywhere. Okay. For those who are interested in motorbikes, for example, traditionally you have the road bikes and then you have the off-road bikes. But nowadays, when you go onto the market, you find that there are motorbikes that can do both. Yeah? They take you onto a nice road or they can go off-road. So in terms of convergence, we are talking about convergence of the network. And the definition is, network convergence is the efficient coexistence of telephone, video, data communication within a single network. I think you have seen that demonstration just now by Eric, right? That it is no longer a myth, it is no longer a hype, it is actually a reality. While in Malaysia, the take-up rate or the traction of it may not be as great as in overseas, like in Korea, yeah, for example, or in Singapore, or in US, we're definitely seeing it as a trend that's emerging. Okay? So, I think we have gone through this, David has also gone through this. This is traditionally a telephony system, and this is a data network. When we talk about convergence, we talk about both these networks being converged and able to handle voice and data, as well as video. Simple. Right? Any questions on this? If not, then I'll move right along. Okay? And this is what we mean by convergence. So, why the hype? Why do we talk about convergence of network having an implications or impact on organizations? Simply because with a converged network, things become more efficient, right? Especially in terms of cost-wise, in terms of overhead, the total cost of ownership. If you can imagine, I have a telephony system. Traditionally, what we have is a group of administrators doing the administration of that the voice network. Then we have a data network. Again, these are the traditional IT department that will look after that network. Okay? So what it means is that you need two different groups of people looking after two separate networks, two different networks. But with the convergence of the network, you only need one set of infrastructure, right? And to run both the businesses or both the services. So in scalability and flexibility, right? For example, whenever it has demonstrated earlier, if I need to put in a new extension, right? I actually do not need to put in a new wire at all, right? I can run it wirelessly if I want to, right? Previously, if you wanted a new telephone, you need to probably put in a telephone jack with a new wire. Here, you can do it through your LAN connectivity. Okay. What happens is that also I can do the configuration myself, right? Or your administrator can do it themselves. They do not need someone from, let's say, telecom operation to come in to help you put it together. Okay. It also supports new innovative and new IP-based application. Probably this is also a very important point, yeah. Because as we move along, we find that there's a lot of new applications coming along that is actually designed for an IP network. So if you have an all IP network, you are able to run more applications, not just, like I said, voice and data. It's like video streaming, for example, you can run on it, and all other apps. Okay, so what is the things that you have to look out for in order for you to have a converged platform? Simple things like open architecture, right? Should not be proprietary, so that many different devices, many different applications can run on the same infrastructure. So it has to be open. The capacity of the network should be sufficient, right, to support the applications you are running or the services that you are running. Let's say traditionally you are running only data. If you are running voice on it, then you should plan to have additional capacity, right, to cater to the voice. Your network must be then highly available, right? Because no point you running a voice service that goes down once or twice a day that impacts your business. Okay, so that one is another point to note. And the security of application services. For those of you who comes from data network or managing data network, you find that you're very protective, right, on your network. You have firewall, you won't allow. You don't simply allow access to the network. It's very secure. As opposed to the telephone network where everybody can lift up a phone and call. Although nowadays we do put security password into the phone systems, right? So when you have a converged service, then you must make sure that all this security is not compromised. Okay? So you need to build in the security feature. And also you need a quality of service. For example, the quality of the network required to run data is different to that when you want to run voice. Yeah? And also if you want to run fax over the IP network, it becomes a bit sensitive. So you need to cater for all this. But in this day and age, I do not think that any of these pose a problem. Sometimes it may be a challenge, but it is something that can be overcome by deploying the right devices, by deploying the right services. Okay. I'm sure you all heard of this before, yeah? The only constant in life is change. Right? And one cannot manage change, one can only be ahead of it. This is by Peter Drucker. But if you listen to Michael earlier on, he also mentioned that you cannot buck the trend, right? You can only embrace it. So the thing is to make sure we embrace it intelligently. Yeah. Okay. The transition from traditional to converged network, just like Rome is not built in a day, I think when we transition from an old system to a new system, or from a traditional system to a more modern system, we have to do it phase by phase. Not many of us can do a transformation, that means overnight change, yeah? Because there is too much at stake. For example, we invested a lot in IPVX, maybe over PBX, over 100,000. Then you want to change it to IP-based network. But like I said, there are things that you can do to make it being done in phases so that it's not too much of a shock to all of us. And also that we can justify investment in it. Okay? And to achieve a converged architecture, what I'm really driving at is that you need a trusted partner. And who better than P1? Right? Right? Oh, very good. Otherwise, no lucky draw, right? Okay. Now, many of you probably associate P1 with wireless, which is a consumer-based service. But we actually offer some, how shall I say, enterprise services as well. Right? So, in terms of businesses, why partner with P1? Right? I will tell you in 2 simple slides why you should do that. The first one is because P1 has the right DNA. What do you mean by DNA? Okay? Because in P1, we have the right network, right? As in our 4G network, as well as now complemented by the fiber. We have the devices, as you have seen, the fixed modem, USB, yeah, and also from our partners, the IPTVX and endpoint devices, the phones. Application-wise, we probably only have one or two, not that many, okay? But nonetheless, we have the right DNA. The other thing as to why P1 is a trusted partner is because of our services, right? We have the right connectivity services. We also have the right communication service and content. Again, for connectivity, we have got our lease line services, which is wirelessly delivered. We've got the fiber, and then we've got the 4G. For communication, we've got our SIP service. And together with partners like Net3G, we can deliver the end-to-end solution to our customers. Content-wise, again, like applications, we only have one or two because it all depends on what the company does, right? So we leave that to our partners and third parties to provide that. So, good reason why P1 is your partner, because like I mentioned, for connectivity, we have our BIS, which is the wireless internet lease line. We have the one BIS fiber, which is what we have in terms of the recent infrastructure of the fiber, and our WiMAX. Alright, someone is telling me my time is up, right? It's okay, just tell me, you don't have to pick everyone up. Alright, okay. And then for communication, like I mentioned, you got our SIP, yeah, which is the one that was shown to you earlier by Derek. We also have our previous one, the ASP and SMS. Okay? Any questions so far on our services? If you have, please do not hesitate to ask me or any of the P1 staff that you see standing around. Okay? Alright, now to round off my presentation, I'd just like to show you what some of our customers say about our service and also who they are. Alright, for example, we have Scully that uses our wireless internet lease lines. Alright, and they say we need the speed, the quality so that it can go far. So basically, they're saying that our service is of use to them. Right? We also got Top Love, like Michael has pointed out before, they use our service as well as AVEX, yeah, which is a distributor for mobile phones. We also have other customers like FNN, as well as UCDI, yeah, which is a big phone. Basically, they only got good things to say for us. Of course, we have a lot of challenges. They also have their own share of complaints, but at the end of the day, the good outweighs the challenges. Okay, that's all I have. And if you have any questions, please ask me or any of the staff that you see running around. Is that quick enough for you? Are we good, right? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you very much.